Hello, Eric? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? Yeah.
What's up?
How's it
Uh,
going?
good. Thanks for making time.
Yep.
How was the game yesterday?
Oh, we lost. So
No.
yeah, we're done. We're done. You choke.
That's okay. Hopefully you had fun anyways. Okay, I've never done one of these before, so this will be fun.
Yeah, same here.
Nice. Okay, cool. Welcome everyone to the video. We're going to be interviewing Froyo Arekk. I'm going to give a quick introduction. Eric played on Froyo for the last 4 years, which I had to look that up on Wikipedia because I wasn't quite sure, which is kind of crazy. 4 years. You won so many seasons of ESEA and RGL and different international tournaments, and arguably one of the top two scouts in the game right now. So welcome, Eric, to the YouTube channel.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, let me give a little background, like how this came about. I saw in the news, the TF2 news, that you were stepping down from Froyo. That the big announcement. So I was just like dying to know why. And Banny in his tweet, I'll read his tweet. He says, another season, another surprise Froyo Tech roster change. Froyo Arekk has decided to step down from the team due to his waning passion for playing. So Slemnish will shift to flank scout and will be welcoming Mirror Man as our new soldier. Should be an exciting season. And I was like, what? Because like I was like watching your YouTube channel, so like I knew you were making videos, and I was like, wait, winning interested for playing. So I just had to know more. But maybe before we get into that, maybe we just start with some like basic icebreaker questions. We'll get to know a little bit more about you and your background. So maybe you could start by telling us like how old you are, who you are, where you're from, how long you've been playing TF2 and 6v6. We can start there.
For sure. For those who don't know me, my name's Eric. Even though my real name isn't Eric, it's Alex, actually.
No, what?
Yeah, that ass. That's
what?
everyone is shocked when I tell them that
Why
it's
would
not
you
Eric.
do that?
I have good reasons for that, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 21. I'm 21. Been playing TF2 for I want to say like over almost a decade. Been playing
Wow.
competitively for I think like 7, 8 years around that time. But yeah.
Wow. So you've been playing TF2 since before you should have been playing TF2 on the ESRB rating, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I had to look at the ESRB rating for TF2. I think it's a teen game. you were not. It's mature for blood and gore. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played TF2 when I was like in 5th or 6th grade, somewhere around there.
Can you tell us a little bit about like how you got into 6v6 and like your initial motivation for playing the game?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I started playing TF2 only because of my like IRL friends. You know, they told me, hey, install Steam. There's this free game that we can play together. It'd be fun. Because at the time we were playing Roblox. You know what I'm saying? Like we're 10.
Whoa.
We're 10. We're chilling in Roblox. Like my username was Lego Legend 33.
What?
So sixth grade. Sixth grade's a big step. So we gotta switch games, and that's how we got into TF2. I was originally like just a pubber, like a pubber and trader. I was playing on Trade Minecraft all day, low grav, sniping, all
Nice. Nice.
and then
Did you play Orange, CP Orange?
yeah,
The
Orange
100%
Trade
crits?
Minecraft. Yep. And then eventually my friends went into this Dust Bowl server, this community. It was called V3. Blaze, Clockwork, and Hero used to play there like all the time. I remember seeing them, and at the time I was a soldier main. And I remember adding Blaze like on Steam and asking him for like tips,
No
which is
way.
crazy. The thing is, he doesn't even remember. That's how long ago it was. But
He was,
I
he
was
was
just
playing
like
comp back then, or was this before
yeah,
comp?
he was on like Space Bros, I think, or Space Whales.
Oh, the Space Rails, the bro tag.
Yeah, but they were just like pub stopping us, and I was like, this guy's good. I did some research. I found out he played competitive. I was like, oh, this sounds pretty interesting.
That's crazy. And were you always a scout main from the beginning, or did you switch classes?
Bro. Nah, dude. I was a soldier main.
Oh.
Playing with 90 ping and like default interp.
Okay, so I'm following the story. So, you played from when you were in school as a kid, and you were getting into 6v6, and you saw some people that were really good at the game, and you sort of climbed the ranks, and you eventually landed on Froyo. And for most players that I've seen, like that's kind of like the peak, right? Like Froyo's been undefeated for so long, and there's like really nowhere else to go once you've made it to the Froyo roster, and you've been on that roster now for 4 years. So once you got there, what kind of goals did you have for yourself? And like, I know this is kind of cringe, but like your TF2 career, like once you made it onto Froyo, like what was your goal then?
I mean, the goal was obviously like not to lose. Like in the back of my head, I was always worried about like being cut because who was I replacing? I was replacing Patty. Like they just came off of the Rewind One championship, so I was like, man, if we lose this season, like that's on me. And I
Right.
was really worried that if we did lose this season, that I would just get cut. So I think that's what motivated me to practice and like be the best I could.
Okay, so now for the big question. Okay, so you're voluntarily stepping down from Froyo. So, and you play with them for so long. I think I saw a tweet from you. You said you call them like your family. So talk to me about like what's the kind of the motivation in it, and your what's going through your mind at this point when you're thinking about that.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. I think I've been playing for so long that it reached the point where my motivation in playing this game like started to decrease. I think in like after ECA died, I think that's when I started like slowly, gradually like decreasing my hours in TF2. I didn't really want to, go all night as like the rest of the team. 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. That's when I usually like hopped off. 2 hours of scrims, nothing more, nothing less, like that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, my passion for TF2 has kindly been slowing down, and I don't know. It was up until like just recently where I was like, man, I this seems like a chore to me at this point, which is, that's the red flag in playing video games where like if you don't see it as fun and you see it as a chore, then that's
Yeah.
when it's up to you to like call it quits.
Yeah. That's like the worst feeling. That's like the definition of burnout, right? When like
Mm,
you're putting more into it than you're getting out of it, so you're just like logging in just to get it over with almost. Is that
yeah,
that feeling kind of feeling you had, or yeah?
yeah, I mean, you described it perfectly. I mean, originally, like this season, I was gonna play one more, and then I was hoping for one last W, and then quit like in the off season. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm just gonna force myself to you know play for 3 more months, win, and like be done. You know,
Hmm.
and I think it was one night we were playing Witness Gaming, and we got destroyed. Which is kind of usual. Like at the beginning of the season, we usually tend to lose to like
You're
some
getting
of
warmed
the
back
other good
up into
teams.
the season again and kind of getting back into swing of
Yeah, it,
things.
it
Yeah.
it usually takes us a while to pick it up like mid to late seasons, like into the playoffs. But yeah, we got rolled, and that's when I think
You're
it made
like,
me realize that I was like, yeah, I'm done. Because normally when we do get rolled, that kind of like motivates me to like try even harder and like stuff like that. But after that night, I was like, yeah, I don't really care anymore.
right. Yeah, I'm kind of like because I've had that experience in gaming myself where uh you lose that match and then you realize, okay, I'm gonna have to put some work in order to beat them, because like, God, who am I losing to these guys? Like, not, no offense, like these are good players, but like, you can beat them. You just need to put the time into it. But then you
Yeah, for sure.
realize how much time you have to put in, and you're kind of looking up at the mountain ahead of you or whatever, and you're like, is it really worth it? And then you kind of just like, like I remember experience I had when I first started playing StarCraft, and I have like 10 hours in StarCraft, so I'm not like huge on it. But like I remember when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm kind of learning how to put buildings down, and then I realized, okay, I have to learn build orders. And then I like have to make the build orders efficient, so I got to go look at the build orders and I have to memorize the build orders. I'm like, screw it, like it's just too much work to like learn these build orders. So I just kind of gave up on it. Is it kind of that feeling where like you know what you had to do, but you're like looking at it like, I don't really want to put myself through that?
Yeah, you said it so well. I mean, we've been here before, right? I've been playing for like God, like 8, 9, 10 seasons
Right.
now. Like usually same things always happen. We usually start off like really, really rough. Then, we have that wake up call. Usually when we like lose a match, that's when everyone like kicks it up a notch. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what I needed to do. I just needed to put more hours in. But
And
yeah,
it's the value that you get out of it versus how much time you have
yeah.
to put in.
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is like right before I left, Banny was on vacation, so we decided to take a week off of scrims.
Yeah.
And I think that I was like, man,
Best week ever.
yeah, which kind of sucks, you know. And I feel like most of my teammates, actually all of my teammates, they really know that any chance I can get out of not scrimming, like I'll do it. Which, you know, that's kind of a bad of me.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
like not good for you, not good for them, and like yeah.
yeah, for sure. And the crazy thing is like when we did start scrimming again, like I looked at my hours, I dead ass had like 3 in TF2. I had like 3 hours in TF2 and
Yeah.
like an hour in Bloons Tower Defense 5 or 6. 6.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I know that feeling. You just play some like rando game.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. No, I understand it. Like it makes total sense. Like you've gone through so much in this game. Like you've seen because you've traveled, right, for this game. Like I feel like you've seen so many things. Like what else is there left for you to kind of conquer? You know, what else is there left for you to accomplish?
Yeah. I think part of me, like my reasoning for wanting to stay was, you know, LAN, right? Getting to see everyone
Mm,
because I think the last LAN I went to was I-63 and that was like 3 years ago, right? Like when
mhm.
the hell was that?
Right.
But yeah, I mean RGL originally had like like hella lands coming up, right? And then COVID hit, so I think that's what really made me like question it. I was like,
Right.
man, I really don't want to like wait any longer for this.
Yeah. I was trying to map kind of these feelings that you're having to some of your initial motivations for playing. And you mentioned that like you play because you're friends, and it sounds to me like you also like enjoy the challenge of it, and like um, maybe that challenge isn't like there so much for you since you've won so many times. And yeah, LAN is a huge motivator because it's a big challenge, it's a milestone, and it's also a chance to see your friends in real life, you know. And I feel like without that there, then I've definitely heard that from some other invite players. Like yeah, after if there's no ESCA LAN, they didn't want to play anymore. So I've heard this story before in a way.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, everyone who has played on Froyo has been, you know, I see them as like more than teammates for the most part. You know, there are some people who only played a season and I'm not that close to, but
Of
you know,
course.
Blaze, Habib, Banny, Skis, like Jay and Patty, like those guys are, you know, really. I'd say I'm pretty close to them. Like even with like my old teammates, like even Shade, as crazy as that sounds, like I used to see him as like a you know parental figure,
Yeah.
like that cool uncle, you know.
Yeah, older brother or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
older brother. Nah, he's a little too old for me.
He's old. Oh, I do believe that about TF2 that it's like a fraternity, where some of the connections you make, you'll have those for, hopefully for the rest of your life. Especially if like you mentioned some of those core teammates that you had. I mean, you're playing games with them like every night of the week for multiple hours. Is what you're doing with your free time. So it makes sense. It's cool that to see that happen for you. That you got to know these guys really well.
Yeah, and also one more thing I forgot to mention, Yomps. He's definitely
Mm,
one of those people that, you know, I'm glad he was on the team and that I was glad like I became
yeah.
friends with him.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Cool. So I have to ask because people are going to want to know the answer. So do you think you'll ever return to TF2? And I'm not saying you should come back to TF2, but lots of your teammates, Blaze and Shade, some of the ones you mentioned, they leave, they come back. So it's definitely happened before where this boomerang effect kind of happens. And I'm just, for the record, I just wanted to get your take on it. What do you think are the odds that you come back to TF2?
Odds are slim, bro. Odds are slim. I don't, I would. I'll tell you this. I might, but there's like 100% certainty that I won't play on a team other than Froyo. So,
Mm,
you know, if like a year or two, like from now, if they
yeah,
need a scout and I'm like, you know what, I'm down, then I'll
yeah,
play. But right now, I think I'm done.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and the
makes
crazy
sense.
thing is like, I'm not even a gamer, right? Like,
Oh,
I
really?
just played TF2. Yeah, like the only other game
You
that
play
I play is
balloons. What are you talking about?
okay, but hey, bro, like I'm playing on my phone. Like, am I
Yeah,
really a gamer? Like, it's
yeah.
just something I do.
Wow, that's
Like
crazy.
I don't know.
That's kind
Yeah,
of funny to think yourself like you've been playing this game for 10 years and you don't consider yourself a gamer.
I
Not,
consider myself as a TF2 player, nothing more. Like, I don't play any
uh,
other FPSs or like MOBAs and stuff like that.
okay, so that kind of leads into my next question. So, like, what's next for you? Like now that this chapter of your life is over, this is going to open up a whole chunk of time, for you. Like you said, you mentioned you had that week off. You were just chilling. Curious to know what you're doing with your time. especially if you don't consider yourself to be a gamer, or if you consider yourself to be a TF2 player without TF2. Just be and I know yesterday you told me you watched the basketball game, but like yeah, it's just gonna be like, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, right now I'm just chilling. Finals is coming up, so I'm just worried about that. I feel like I'm gonna have the same amount of time as like I had before, because you know, in the end of the day, it was just like 2 or 3 hours that I just had to
Oh, I see.
spend. So I would say I was really good at time managing. So it's not like me quitting TF2 is gonna open up like these whole new opportunities. You know, like actually, now that I think about it. Looking back, there were some times where, you know, I was out with like friends and stuff, or like we were like getting dinner and something, and I'd have to tell them, yo, I gotta get home
Mm-hmm.
like before 7, so we're gonna have to like hurry this up, like
Yep.
meet, and then you know pack everything up, and then I just got dipped for 2 hours, right? So
Yes.
that thing, you know, I was kind of annoyed at with TF2.
Yeah, that resonates with me. When I was in college, my freshman year is when I first started playing comp, and I would have to like run home to make it to scrims,
Dude,
and then
oh
all my
my
friends
god,
knew me as like that TF2 guy who's like crazy about playing
dude,
TF2.
dude, my freshman and sophomore year of college, I would go to this club. And those clubs, like the meeting times would be from 6 to 7, right?
Uh-huh.
And it would be on campus. So every time, like every Tuesday, I would just sprint back home because of TF2 scrims. And you know, at the time, my friends didn't know that I played TF2, so they were like, what is this guy
Yeah,
doing? Like,
where's he
why is
going
he
right
just
now? Yeah,
dipping?
like what is he
Like,
doing right now?
yeah, every meeting, everyone's like, "Hey, let's go to Buffalo. Let's get some freaking wings, right?" And I'm like, "I can't. I gotta freaking go. Like, there's no time for me to like even chit chat because I'd be late." And you know, that was back when I was like, I valued everyone's time, so I didn't really want to be late.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
unlike Khabib, you know, he'll just show up 30 minutes late and not care.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing him under the bus right now, but yeah, no, that
yeah.
makes sense because like, no, I feel that way too. I don't want to let my teammates down. I'm gonna run home and get to scrims.
Mhm.
You know, I'm actually. This brings to mind like I truly believe you when you say that you're, you know, the chances of you coming back are slim, that you're going to do other things. But you know, I've definitely quit TF2 many times, and I find that, you know, some of the teammates that I mentioned of yours that like, they came back. I think people like us are competitive, whether we admit it or not. Whether we admit it or not, we have this kind of like need to feed that beast, you know, a little bit. So whether it's TF2 or some other thing, I'm sure you'd find some competitive outlet for yourself that you're gonna want to fill.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. We you don't take
We'll
bets on
find
it right
out.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll find
find
out
out.
later.
I
Okay.
will admit. Oh, yeah. I'll admit that when I quit, I didn't really feel anything like initially, right? Like I was like, okay, I quit. So what? Like nothing has really changed like emotionally for me. It was until after like I saw Banny's tweet and like everyone's like reaction to it and like all the support I had and the replies and stuff like that. And like even on my Steam profile, people were commenting like saying how, you know, I was one of their biggest like inspirations and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think that's what made me realize like, man, I really shouldn't have quit. You know, like that regret started seeping in. I was like, man, I like
Yeah.
it's crazy to think that, you know, some people like looked up to me like as a TF2 player and that I just retired and they can't watch me anymore. So I think that's when I was like, man, should I have quit?
Right.
But now, you know, a week has passed and I'm like, nah, yeah, you're right. I should have
Right
quit.
decision. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely had that same feeling when I broke up with my first girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, hey, can't relate, bro. Can't relate.
Dated her for 2 years, and I knew it was the right call. Like it was going downhill. I was ready to. I broke up, and then for like 3 weeks, I was like, "Man, should I have broken up? I don't know." And then like after those 3 weeks, I was like, "Dude, like best decision ever." You know, no offense to her, but it's like you got to do what's right for you. So I believe you made the right choice. I mean, you had a lot of time to think it over. So now that we got that out of the way, just maybe you could share like a few learnings for the community, because there's just so many things you've done in TF2. You know, like a lot of people look up to you, like you mentioned, and you've done so many things. Like you've played online and at LAN, and you've had your own YouTube channel. So I'm sure there's a couple things maybe you'd want some other people like could learn from you, and some of the big learnings from your time in TF2. So do you have some learnings to share there?
I would say I was pretty lucky to get where I was. I think I just found the right group of people, like people with similar mindsets and people like with similar skills. Like I'm sure you've heard of like Luka goers and stuff like that, but like I think those
Mhm.
players like Bot Mode, Aim, Habib, Slemnish, Nursey, like those guys, I think like knowing them is what helped me be the player that I was.
Mm.
And I don't know. My suggestion it would be to find a group of people that you can vibe with, that you don't like argue against, and like I don't know. There's no like toxicity between you two, and just find people who have similar mindsets as you. Like there are some people who just want to play to have fun, and you know there are
Right.
other people who want to compete and actually take things seriously. So just make sure those mindsets like align with yours.
Just to add on to that, like you know, it would be a mismatch if some people just want to have fun and some people really wanted to try hard, you know, and do dumb reviews 5 nights a week. And so like yeah, you want to find people who have the similar mindset where like if you want to have fun, play with people who want to have fun. And if you want to, you know, be super intense, like be super intense. So that makes sense to me. And also I've heard you know that saying like you are the combination of like the 5 closest friends that you have. And the people that you mentioned got really, really good at TF2. So I feel like that, like surrounding yourself with those kinds of people is kind of like what you're saying, part of what pulled you into that and made you really good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, one more thing I could say was just just not be toxic. Looking back in my TFT career, like I was so toxic as a edgy 15-year-old. I mean, granted, everyone on Luca Goers were like 15, 16, 17, so we were all edgy, and that kind of made like this toxic environment. So yeah,
For
I
sure.
mean, just play the game, try to improve, don't like get tilted or like emo out, stuff like that. It'll be all right. Like you'll improve, and you know, people like Banny and them will notice. I mean, prime example, Jay and Mirror Man, right? Like
Yeah.
those guys are super nice, super cool, you know, not toxic, they're good, and
Right.
Banny likes that.
Yeah. People you want to be around. I mean, you're going to see these people all the
Yeah, for
time.
sure.
Like you want to have a good time with it. You don't want to be stuck with someone who's going to make your
Mm-hmm.
life miserable. So yeah, no one wants to be around that kind of person for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to ask you, like, what is your aim training regimen? Because your aim is actually
Well,
insane. Like you're sniping, the scout. Maybe there's a different regimen for either one. Like, is it just TF2 playing? I mean, granted, like you mentioned near the end, you're not playing too much, but like you built up all that skill over like you know a decade. So yeah, what did you do to get that?
man, as a kid, I
I
want to
don't
say
know.
as a kid, bro, I want to say CP Orange. Just sniping
No
on that.
way.
Dead ass,
Oh
bro.
no.
Dead ass.
No, there's so many people who
CP
are gonna get the
Orange.
wrong impression now. This is gonna
CP
be
Orange sniping. Seriously, you become cracked. And then once I got into competitive, like just hitting the DM servers like every day for like an hour.
every
And
day.
just,
Just
yeah,
did you ever
like,
skip days or you like super
oh yeah,
religious
I
about
mean,
it?
obviously I would skip, but you know, back when I first like joined Invite, like me, Aim, and like Habib, like we would just play DM like all day, like MG each other, and I think that's what helped build
Mm.
muscle memory. But
Oh, you brought your teammates in with you. That makes sense too, because like
yeah,
it's hard to find a good server these days, you know, and like sometimes you're playing against people that of a lower skill level or whatever.
I mean, yeah,
That makes
back in the
sense.
day though, like DM servers were popping. Like everyone who was good played, you know, like Shrugger and them. Like you
Hmm.
would always see them in DM servers like Mela. So I mean, it might be hard now to join a DM server and just play for an hour because, you know, the hard thing is getting the server full to begin with.
Yep. Yep.
But
Makes sense.
I mean, later in my career, all I did was play TR walkway, TR rocket shooting as like an initial warm up, and then just play scrims. I think
Oh,
my mindset for like practicing is use scrims as like a warm up. You know what I'm saying? So
like the first few scrims or like it going before the match or
yeah, just scrims in general. That's the time where like you should be warming up. I go into
Mhm.
scrims like cold, and it's
Oh,
usually like the first scrim I do pretty average, and then the second one I start to warm up a little.
got it. Yeah, I feel like you've got your system down pretty solid now. So yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, how do you use TR rocket shooting or as a scout or as a soldier?
As a scout, I'm just running around just shooting them.
Okay, word. And on
I'm
walkway, the same thing.
yeah, just no settings, just load it up, go out spawn, and just shoot some bots.
Okay, word. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so here's a question I have that has kind of a potentially awkward answer. But I'm just kind of wondering, like, you mentioned a little bit earlier about some of the sacrifices that you'd make playing TF2. You know, like sometimes you gotta, run home from the club early, or there's certain things that you don't get to do that now you do have the time to do it. So, would you recommend that other people kind of go down the same path that you did?
In all honesty, I'd
Yeah.
probably tell someone to not even play TF2 to begin with. In all honesty, I think TF2 has like made a negative impact on my life, like in the outside world. Like obviously in game, I really enjoyed myself, but I think me being super committed to TF2, me like no lifing it for like 8 years, like playing 90 hours every 2 weeks, I think that affected me later on. So
Hmm.
for anyone who wants to go down that same path, I think you gotta be careful with it and know how to like balance the two. Because when I was young, I I felt like I did a really bad job of balancing my social life with TF2.
I see. I see. Yeah, I don't want to get too personal about it, but like, if you don't mind answering, what do you feel like? What do you feel like you didn't get that you wish you had by putting so much time into TF2?
I don't know, man. I felt like I was just a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like that's not like obviously a bad thing, but I felt like I just wanted to play TF2. Like, I just wanted to like be online and just play with my friends. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't really about the like IRL stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, college, like my freshman and sophomore year, like obviously, there's parties going on. Like, I've made new friends, and they're like, "Hey, Alex, come hang out with us.
Yep.
Come to this party. Come to this kickback and stuff like that." And I'd be like, "Nah, that partying's lame. I just want to like be in my room, just play TF2."
Yep. Yep.
As crazy as that sounds, dude.
Yeah.
Like looking back, man, dude, I was being a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
should have just been like,
definitely.
"Hey, get a ringer." So yeah, those 2 years of college, I think, were
Yeah.
kind of wasted in a
That's what you
sense.
missed out on. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I also feel like if you get the ringer though, if you make that decision multiple times, then like you wouldn't be where you
Yeah.
are today. You wouldn't be as good.
Hmm.
But no, I feel that too. Like I definitely declined a lot of social opportunities growing up, and when I stopped playing TF2 for some time, like I was super awkward because didn't know how to interact socially.
Uh,
But this is just my 2 cents, to take it for what it is. Like as I got older, like I found that that actually was the right decision for me. Like I've been playing games since I was a kid, so um, I play a lot of games. I declined those social opportunities. Later on in life, I took those social opportunities, and it didn't make me as happy as playing games did. So now that I'm like, I just turned 30, like I'm pretty cool playing games, like my girlfriend just went out to hang out with her friends, and I'm pretty cool just chilling at home and talking about video games and playing video games. So I think each person's different. Like, you like you said, you don't identify as a gamer, so maybe there's some other things that are out there for you, but I don't know. It's a unique experience that like not many other people would have had, being in your shoes.
sure, for sure. Wait, you're 30?
Yeah, I just turned
You're
30 last
30?
month. Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. You're 30?
Yeah, I
You're
get that all the time.
You're yeah.
Yeah, man.
Holy. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm 21, so like
I graduated my senior year of college in 2013. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I did not know that. Holy. I thought you were like 26 or something like that.
Oh, I get that all the time. Yeah, like dude, when I was living in San Francisco, I I used to go like I would carry my backpack to work, at Twitch, and then I'd come home and like go to the liquor store and get like whatever juice or something, and the guy at the counter would be like, "So how's school today?" And I'd be like, I'm like, "Yeah, it's good, man. Like finals are tough." Like,
Holy.
yeah,
Hey, dude, you look. Hey, I'll say this, bro. You look good for 30.
Thanks. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I hardly get carded anymore though, but like everyone says I look young for my age, which is a good thing. Like I'll appreciate it when I'm older. It's funny, man. Yeah, like when I was in college, the oldest player. Do you remember Smacka?
Oh yeah, what is he like 50 now?
Yeah, he's got to be like.
He's
when,
gotta be.
when,
He might be balding, bro. Wait,
he was bald. He was
right?
already bald.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. He might get some wrinkles.
Yeah, no. When I played, he was like 37, and I was like, man, he's like the only 37-year-old who plays TF2.
37?
Yeah, he was 37. Yeah.
Dude,
and I was in college.
What?
I know,
Dude, he
man.
must
I
have
know.
the slowest reaction times ever. He played demo, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Dude,
played demo.
his deaths must have been turtle speed.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty funny, man. Like, I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, how come there's like no other 37-year-olds playing TF2, you know? But now that
Dude,
I get it now.
holy shit. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? That reminds me. When I started playing Invite, I think me and Yams were dead ass like the youngest people in Invite
Oh
at
yeah,
the time.
yeah.
We were like 15, 16, and we were like rare because everyone back then were like, 23, somewhere around there, like
Right.
20-year-olds. But now, dude, there's probably like freaking 30, like 16-year-olds playing in Invite. Like,
Right.
on God.
No, yeah, for
Everyone's
sure.
so young, and it's crazy to like even consider me like as a boomer. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but that term's not accurate anymore. But yeah, no, for sure. Like, yeah, like I remember Lansky going to ESC Atlanta. He needed to bring his mom because he
Oh
was
my
so
God.
young. He was like 16. So
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh, yo, Lansky, where's your mom?"
Bro, my dad almost came with me to Sweetland because I was 17 at the time. And I was like, dude, please, you cannot come. Like, don't embarrass me. So I finally, like, thankfully, I convinced him not to come.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good, Dad. Cool. All right, so I think this is a good time to wrap it up. So, any final words for the TF2 community?
Yeah, since I won't be relevant, I guess I'll just say this, that even though like I won't be playing, everyone who like supported me or who continues to support me even after, um, I encourage them to, add me on Discord or whatever and ask for like any tips and stuff like that because I think um that's something a lot of people do or did when I was playing was that they added me on Discord and asked me for some advice, stuff like that. So I just encourage everyone to keep doing that.
Yeah,
And I'll be happy to give them that advice.
that's so cool. Yeah, I love that. That's your that you're still willing to give back and that you kind of remember like where you came from and you want people to have the same experience. That's awesome. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Also, hey guys, remember I still sign weapons. Like just
Yo.
hey, just shoot me an offer. I'm not greedy. I don't charge, but if you guys throw in a key, like I'll appreciate it. But you don't have to. Just saying.
Nice, cool. Well, thanks so much time. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. We really appreciate it. So, congrats on all your success in TF2 and good luck.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, dude, you made me feel like a celebrity. Like I was just like a Kardashian, like just announcing something. Like, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, for sure.
Love
Hey,
it.
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I was genuinely interested to hear the answers to the questions. I'm sure a lot of people out there will have more follow-ups in the comments, so this will be cool.
I was an ex-brony. But the crazy thing is, bro, listen, I was 12, okay? That Dust Bowl server that I played on had bronies.
Oh,
okay?
it was a brony Dust Bowl server.
It was a brony Dust Bowl server.
Oh
right?
my God.
So, yeah, I remember I had a friend, his name was like freaking Rainbow Sparkles or some shit. He gifted me a Lugermorth, and I was like, all right, bet, we're friends. But yeah, I was like, why is everyone rocking ponies?
Let's go.
I was like, why is everyone rocking ponies? I'm 12 years old. I have to follow the crowd. So I'm searching ponies, right? And it's My Little Pony. I've never watched the freaking show ever. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to fit in the crowd. I'm gonna put this blue unicorn. Oh wait, is there a unicorn? It's a pony. A blue pony.
I don't know what it is, man. It's a pony. Okay.
But yeah, I had like cat faces in my alias. I was one of them. But I've never watched the show like at all. So I don't know if I consider myself to be a brony.
Wait, you could be a brony, but you don't watch the show?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I've never watched a single episode. So
I didn't even realize it was an option.
Like, can I consider myself to be a brony? Like, can I put that on my resume?
Yeah.
Like,
wait, aren't you curious though? Like, you had this as your identity, but you never watched the show. Like, didn't you just be like, maybe I should just watch like one episode?
Bro, I was 12. I didn't think too much into it. I was like, pony cool, pony equal good.
That's good. Okay.
I'll just rock the pony.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool. Okay, that's all the bonus questions.
All right, cool. I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah, it's dope. It's funny, man. Yeah, it's funny, like, because you mentioned like these guys so well, and then Danny was like, "Yeah, dude, like ask him about it being a brony." I was like, "Okay."